Forgiveness is not an easy thing to do, but it is a great thing to do. If you can find it in your heart to forgive, then you are taking a big step toward living a happier and healthier life. Albert Einstein. Forgiveness is a process, not an event. It's a journey that we all take, and we need to be kind and gentle with ourselves as we move forward. Dr. Fred Luskin, psychologist and author. Forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others. It's about freeing yourself from the pain and hurt that you've been carrying. Dr. Andrea Brandt, psychotherapist and author. The first harm is what you receive from the person who has hurt you. The second harm is what you do to yourself by holding a grudge. The third harm is what your loved ones around you suffer because of the pain you inflict upon yourself. Forgiveness can at least prevent the second and third harms. Jins Kim, licensed professional counselor and professor. Forgiveness is not something we do for others. We do it for ourselves, to get well and move on. Dr. Gene Siegel, psychologist and author. Forgiveness is not an emotion, it's a choice. We choose to release the anger, bitterness, and resentment that we're holding on to. Dr. Caroline Leaf, cognitive neuroscientist and author. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the door of resentment and the handcuffs of hatred. It is a power that breaks the chains of bitterness and the shackles of selfishness. Corrie ten Boom, mental health professional and author. Forgiveness doesn't excuse the other person's behavior. It simply stops them from destroying your heart. Dr. Tiffany D. Sanders, licensed professional counselor. Forgiveness is not easy, but it is necessary for our own healing and growth. It allows us to let go of the past and move forward into a brighter future. Dr. Christina Hibbert, clinical psychologist and author. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a commitment. Gary Chapman, American counselor and author. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is about letting go of another person's throat. William Paul Young, Canadian author. Forgiveness is a way of opening up the doors again and moving forward, whether it's a personal life or a national life. Hillary Clinton, American politician and former Secretary of State. Forgiveness is the key to action and freedom. Hannah Arendt, German-American philosopher and political theorist. Forgiveness is a process, not a single event. Janet Landman, American psychologist. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it is always necessary. Martin Luther King Jr., American civil rights activist and Baptist minister. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that the past could have been any different. Oprah Winfrey, American media executive and talk show host. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Lewis B. Smedes. Forgiveness is not about forgetting. It is about letting go of another person's throat. William Paul Young. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it does enlarge the future. Paul Bose. Forgiving does not erase the bitter past. A healed memory is not a deleted memory. Instead, forgiving what we cannot forget creates a new way to remember. We change the memory of our past into a hope for our future. Lewis B. Smedes. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Marianne Williamson. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision we make because we want to do what's right before God. Joyce Meyer. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Albert Hubbard. Forgiveness is a funny thing. It warms the heart and cools the sting. William Arthur Ward. Forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Jonathan Lockwood Huey. Forgiving is not forgetting. It's letting go of the hurt. Kathy Love. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Marianne Williamson. Forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision we make because we want to do what's right before God. Joyce Meyer. Forgiveness is the final form of love. Reinhold Niebuhr. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Marianne Williamson. Forgiveness is the ultimate form of love, and it requires courage to take that step. Dr. Eva Moses Kaur, survivor of the Holocaust and founder of the Candles Holocaust Museum and Education Center. Forgiveness can be transformative, both psychologically and physiologically. Dr. Frederick Luskin, director of the Stanford Forgiveness Project. Forgiveness is a powerful means of healing and growth, allowing individuals to move beyond pain and negative emotions to regain control of their lives. Dr. Robert Enright, founder of the International Forgiveness Institute. The act of forgiveness can have enormous benefits for mental and physical health, as well as relationships. Dr. Charlotte Van Ooyen Witvliet, professor of psychology at Hope College. Forgiveness is a powerful way to transcend suffering and create meaning out of adversity. Dr. Everett Worthington, professor of psychology at Virginia Commonwealth University. Without forgiveness, life is governed by an endless cycle of resentment and retaliation. Roberto Assagioli, Italian psychiatrist and contemporary dance choreographer. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Marianne Williamson, American author and spiritual teacher. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Suzanne Summers, American actress and author. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. Martin Luther King Jr., American civil rights activist and Baptist minister. Forgiveness is a funny thing. It warms the heart and cools the sting. William Arthur Ward, American writer. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Mahatma Gandhi, Indian political and spiritual leader. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Mark Twain, American writer and humorist. Forgiveness is a funny thing. It warms the heart and cools the sting. William Arthur Ward, often cited as a quote from comedian Lily Tomlin. Forgiveness is giving up all hope of having had a better past. Woody Allen, American comedian and filmmaker. Forgiveness is a great concept until you have someone to forgive. Stephen Colbert, American comedian and TV host. Forgiveness is not just an individual act, it has the power to transform entire communities and societies. Desmond Tutu, South African Anglican bishop and social activist. Forgiveness can be seen as a social lubricant that helps to smooth over the rough edges of social interactions. Karen L. Fingerman, professor of human development and family sciences at the University of Texas at Austin. Forgiveness is a key ingredient in maintaining healthy and positive social relationships, both with individuals and within larger communities. Jeffrey Jensen Arnett, research professor of psychology at Clark University. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but rather an expression of strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Sonia Lyubomirsky, professor of psychology at the University of California, Riverside. Forgiveness can help to break the cycle of violence and promote peace and understanding between individuals and groups. Johan Galtung, Norwegian sociologist and peace researcher. To err is human, to forgive, divine. Alexander Pope, English poet and philosopher. The noblest revenge is to forgive. Thomas Fuller, English clergyman and historian. Forgiveness is the final form of love. Reinhold Niebuhr, American theologian and philosopher. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Mahatma Gandhi, Indian political and spiritual leader. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. Martin Luther King Jr., American civil rights activist and Baptist minister. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Mark Twain, American writer and humorist. Forgiveness means giving up all hope for a better past. Lily Tomlin, American actress and comedian. Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, "It is mine to avenge, I will repay, says the Lord." Jesus, Romans 12:19.